Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Top Hat, aka Dorito Barrio, and some for the real ones out there, it's Cocoa Puffs. But y'all don't know about that. Anyways, the reason why I'm making this video is because I saw this thing, and I got invested, alright? So, we all know about the whole thing, about, Jeffy's Infinite Irida being canceled, right? Yeah, sucks. But, I mean, if you want to know what, my personal opinion is, listen, I love Jeffy's Infinite Irida. I love Shucks. I'll probably put it on the screen or something. I have my entire phone just purely Shucks. I am heavily obsessed with it. Genuinely. However, I do believe that Jeffy's Infinite Irida, or however that last word is pronounced in so many different ways, I feel like it needed to be canceled. It's like putting down a severely ill dog. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It just had to go. Ever since the build leak back in summer, or however long ago it was, that shit just had to go. It had to go. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It just had to go. Oh, for a little recap, if you just don't know, I'm not gonna go too in depth about this because it's not what I'm focused about, but I feel like it is needed for the context and whatnot. So basically, what had happened was this guy named Purple Bun. They released a doc about Boing Bingus, former director of Jeffy's Infinite Irida, and creator of Does Evil Things guy, as in the design and why he's there and whatnot. Yeah, he did some really good things. Now, I didn't really look too much into it, but I've seen other people talk about it and whatnot, so I got some context for it. I think most of it was he was just an edgy 16-year-old. Now we all get that, all right? We all get that. It was 2021, 2022, 2020. We all had those based anti-furry memes, right? Yeah, those were the days. Yeah, anyways, I see some people are wow, all this because she was just being some edgy 16-year-old. I get that. However, he did blackface on Does Evil Things guy, so I don't think it should really matter all that much. I get it. He was 16. This was what, 2020, right? 2022, 2021, whatever. It was in the 2020s, I'm assuming. But all of that kind of goes out the window when he literally just did the exact same thing not too long ago. Do I think Boing is an outright racist neo-Nazi? No, I don't think so. Was he stupid? Incredibly retarded? Yes. And, I'm looking at this, I'm crap. What happened now? And then, I think, I was just scrolling on Twitter, right? And then I see this, account that I think this Purple Bun guy was, quote tweeting or something. And the username was Beta Loves Kids. And obviously that caught my eye. I'm like, what the hell? What the freak? Why is that? Then I go into the account and then I see some not so good stuff about BetaSheep, alright? Now, I'm not really picking a side for anything because, I don't really, there's a lot of questionable shit, alright? There's a lot of questionable stuff. But I just don't really feel like saying anything's definitive, at least right now. So I'm going to reread one of the things that BetaSheep had said, and then I'm going to like read the things on this like beta burner account, right? So see this post, right? It says there are screenshots going around regarding a situation with me back in 2023 regarding me and Pmod trying to paint me as a fucking pedophile for some reason. This was made public in the past before, but now it's spreading light again recently. We met after Marco canceled me, and he came in my DMs defending me, saying I didn't leak the mod. At the time, I was mentally fucked and suicidal. And throughout the time period of me getting context about the situation, he knew this. Pmod sexually took advantage of me and other people around the same time. The age gap was slightly over 2 years. Most of it was happening when I was 16. We never dated. We even discussed the morality of it all back then and didn't see an issue. I've already told my friends the full context of the situation and shared the leaked HTMLs to them, but for the longest time. I expressed my discomfort in the logs and hated that he would constantly ask to rape me in calls. He begged to see my ass constantly, and eventually I did cave in to it after 5 months. He sent me something in return because he felt the need to compensate. I'm dead ass. Around the same time, 2 other people were trying to get with me, and it just fucked me. The whole experience I had with him scarred me for life, and I haven't been able to live my life the same after that. Life has been so fucking hard for me. I haven't been able to talk to people, talk to my family, even function as a person at all. I have so many issues. I can't take it anymore. What's even the point of changing as a person if people are going to see you as a horrible human being regardless? Images attached below are regarding the situation I mentioned. Irida is cancelled. I can't deal with anything anymore. Yeah, that was a pretty rough one. I'm not gonna lie to you. So then, after that, there's this post from Beta Burner that says, at that 10, care giving context to this, you fully knew the consequences of your actions here, so why did you go forward with it? And then it's attached to an image that shows a screenshot of BetaSheep and what I'm assuming is Pmod. What a crazy ass name, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And the alt text says, for context, HCR is Pmod, I was right, who was at the time freshly 14, who was a known edgelord leaker back in 2023, Beta turning 18 that same year, correct me if I'm wrong, was planning on doxing people, sharing leaks, and trading explicit photos with this guy. These DMs were part of an HTML leak where Pmod's account got hijacked and all of their messages were archived. This screenshot is, for now, one of the only surviving screenshots of that leak, as the HTMLs are lost to time. So yeah, that's what the alt text says. And then there's another post that is responding to that whole BetaSheep like thing that I had just read. It says, Beta, you were older than Pmod. Pmod was a fucking infant when all of this transpired. You literally knew that it was wrong. This doesn't address the shit about the doxing or sending leaks to them, or why you even had contact with Pmod in the first place. You're still guilty. Yeah, this doesn't look very good. Not good at all. So then there's this other image for another post, right, that this Beta Burner is like posted, right? It says, as evident in the images you posted, you've been talking to this for like months. Yo, like, drop the HTMLs and not some random testimonies and smaller shit. Stop cherry picking and beating around the bush. with the image attached being a Discord screenshot of BetaSheep and this PMod person. BetaSheep saying, yes, also I should probably point out, but you also made me uncomfortable in calls sometimes. PMod says, when? BetaSheep responds with, when you kept asking me for nudes and saying how fat my ass is. And then PMod says, who wouldn't want that BetaSheep BBG? Yeah, that's kind of fucking nasty, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't know why this was shown. I mean, in my eyes, this doesn't really show anything against Beta. It just shows, like, how weird this PMod person is, and maybe even, like, is, like, helping, like, Beta's side. I don't know. It doesn't show anything wrong. It just shows Beta being very clearly uncomfortable with this weird-ass person. But, nevertheless. Alright. And now I'm gonna read some more things that this Beta burner account has said. Trying to do it from like the chronologically as best as I can. I mean, I'm just doing this like off the top of my head. There's like no script for this video, so yeah. Says, you didn't change, you never fucking changed. A few cherry pick screenshots aren't gonna save face for you. Drop the entire HTMLs if you're such a saint. You're nothing better than a dirty manipulator. PMod was 14 when you were in their DMs. You were DMing them for multiple months. You are not a victim. You being suicidal and mentally ill doesn't change or negate the fact you sent nudes to a 14-year-old boy and planned on doxing people with them. Drop the entire HTML archive if you're apparently such a victim. Testimonies don't mean shit. Those screenshots are out of context. Drop the screenshot of you when you were planning on doxing Hazel for outing you. You're no better than who you were 2 years ago. All you do is lie and manipulate those around you. There were HTMLs that got leaked a while back from this guy called PMod, and in those DMs there were plenty of shit where Beta would plan on doxing people, send leaks to PMod, and even exchange nudes with them. Question mark, question mark, question mark. If anyone still has those HTMLs, please share. And then this Beta burner account posts a screenshot to some kind of forum. I'm just assuming it's like 4chan or something. I don't really know. I don't really care. It says, assuming it's from BetaSheep or something. It says, create a mod based around the works of a pedophile to bring interest back. It works. You get a large team of people to work on your mod. You create a dedicated sub-fandom around your mod. Kids making Twitter accounts named after the Shucks guy. You make an animation that becomes the second most hyped song on YouTube. ... Crashes out over icons. People start to dislike you. Members start leaving left and right. Get into more and more drama every day. Cancel a mod one day before the demo release. Don't know why that was posted, but I mean, yeah, it's very much true. Low-key kind of funny, not gonna lie. And then a little after, this was on October 30th, the Beta burner account had quote tweeted someone that was talking about the whole BetaSheep thingy. It says, I hope you realize this kid, PMod, was 14 at the time and was notorious among both Friday Night Funkin' and 4chan for being very problematic, sending gore, porn to people, doxing, and leaking projects. Beta was not taken advantage of. He was, as he claims, 16 turning 17 at the time. He had months to shut that down, not only the sexual advantages, but even talking to the in general. BetaSheep is lying again, like how he lied about Sling Bingo manipulating them. They willingly worked with them. Here's an unseen screenshot from the Athos GG LOL. There's that. It's like Boing Bingus. I'm assuming deleted user is BetaSheep. And then Maggot. I don't know who Maggot is, or Trollmungus, but I'm assuming one of them has to be Sling Bingo or something. It says, here's some more LOL. BetaSheep and Boing knew willingly that Sling Mingo was Jeffy fan and actively lied about them being manipulated. They literally begged to join the mod, lol. So yeah, I'm not really sure what this means, but it's something. Another post says, "Hi BetaSheep, you really got manipulated by Sling Mingo, didn't you? Days before they got outed talking about Athos dev shit and with Boing and Sling Mingo. We just love lying to our fans now, don't we?" And then is attached to an image that says, has Boing Bingus, Sling Mingo, and BetaSheep. I'm just assuming Maggot is Sling Mingo, because it's a lot. It says, why do they want to work outside the server? I don't know, bruh. Can you like ask? You and Beta fucking shit up, and I'm mad. What's the second guy? Then what is the point in Red TV working outside now? What did I do? Also, I didn't even do anything. The fuck did I do? Be controversial, I don't know. And then there's another screenshot that shows Athos Dev GC that looks like Sling Mingo adding a bunch of adding Trollmongus, BetaSheep, and asking to add Boing to the group, and then asking people to leave the original Athos GC. And then here there's another post that says unknown source, but link to video showcasing various things posted here. Will upload highlights here thread. And then attached to it says mungle.mp4 is a video.
He was diving into the depths of Chernobog's asshole when he mysteriously slipped and started sliding down into the cave deeper and got stuck in a small passage in the cave.
Alright, so for what's the video, it's like a full 32 minute and 56 second video of just like a recording of some person on Discord just going through the official Jeffy's Infinite Irida developer server and just, you know, recording everything that's in this channel called Not Woke Mike. Don't really have the time to like go through all of it, especially because I don't want this video to be like an hour long, but I will put a link to like the whole account in the description of the video. You want to go look for it yourself. We'll say that the video does include like that one tier list picture where it shows like people involved in Jeffy's Infinite Irida, like why would they get arrested for, and it says like Luke border hopping, you know, get it because he's Mexican. I'm so funny. It's fucking hilarious. Anyways, there's a picture of BetaSheep showing some kind of image labeled the PMod iceberg. Here is another post, but this time not from Beta Burner, but from Purple Bun, co-tweeting one of the posts that the Beta Burner account has said. Says, you really shouldn't defend BetaSheep. He claimed PMod sexually harassed him when PMod was 14 and he was 17. Beta was old enough to know to not engage, but he kept going for it for months. And then there's another post that shows just something about PMod, and it's with this person named Valerius Val. It says, oh yeah, I want to mention the fact that PMod drew gore of my OC back when I used to go by my dead name. Context, Sling pinged their server to wish me a happy birthday. I was 15 and I received death threats followed by many horrid artworks for the occasion. And then there's an image below that shows it. Yeah, it's not really cool. Not cool, man. Not cool. And then Beta Burner account reposted a post made by BetaSheep back in 2023 that just says, just finished getting groomed by 13-year-olds, with a gif of like that little yippee little guy with the confetti around and whatnot. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. Not really horrible, like detrimental, but also not really good. And here's a couple of other posts that this Beta Burner account has put out. Says, alright, I saw the beta response doc and a lot of it is honestly true. I'll put my thoughts down in a bit. Now, me personally, I didn't read, nor do I bother to read the BetaSheep doc, but yet again, this whole video is not me saying that BetaSheep is a diddy blood or anything. I'm just here talking about it because this just caught my eye and I'm really invested in it. Again, like I said at the start, I'm not picking any sides. I genuinely just, like I said, there's questionable stuff here, but I just can't see picking a side just yet. It says, I just remembered that as I was typing this out, if someone has access to the HTMLs, please confirm this and don't leak your information. That's low. TLDR, BetaSheep is downplaying and blaming mental ruin for them hanging around with bad people when it's just the consequences of their actions, gradually building up on them, creating a domino effect, leading them down a larger rabbit hole of doing worse shit. PMod is not a victim, thank you. And then there's another post that says, I cannot believe I have to say this, just know that PMod isn't a victim. I am not saying PMod is a victim of BetaSheep in any way. PMod is a very awful individual themselves, and me sharing this information is no way victimizing them. I am merely here to highlight and show the very questionable shit BetaSheep has done. Regardless of how bad PMod is a person, they were still way younger and more impressionable. The ages here are correct, with my memory being a little fuzzy as I saw the HTMLs 2 years ago. I can admit I have fault at that, but I will say even back then, not that it makes it any less questionable if people didn't see the issue, there was a major outcry about it, which adds to why you have been exiled from the community for so long. You have a pattern of doing weird and shady shit all the time, Beta. Regarding the screenshot above, everything in blue is true. I can confirm this. BetaSheep is not lying here. Cool Man did indeed leak stuff. BetaSheep sent them to PMod. AJF is not a pedophile / groomer, but just a really shitty person as well with. Me having tons of information on that filthy up to a few months ago. They haven't changed a bit. They were on triple M for a bit. Unclear if they're still there. Also, I forgot their new username lol. What BetaSheep says here is absolutely true. PMod did not groom you. Yes, they may have extorted you in some way, but you had every advantage to walk away before things got as bad as they did. Beta, your #1 enemy is accountability. You don't take accountability before it's too late. Until everything blows up in your face, you let things get as bad as they were, and when the fire is settled, you swept it all under the rug. Even after being widely accepted back into the community, you still hung around. Slingmango is literally begging to work on Athos. If I ever get my hands on that screenshot, I would gladly share it. You consciously know what you do is ill. You still blame your mental ruin on every single mishap instead of just learning from it all. Very important. Yes, the HTMLs have his sister's personal information on it, but that was because he willingly sent them to PMod to harass her in some way. Very bold claim to not have any proof backing up. I know you can disregard this if you don't believe me. Another thing that this person says, which is very true, very important, not everyone on Irida was like Boing, Beta, or Cancer Lord. Please do not harass or generalize the devs in some way. Some of them are the sweetest people in the world and don't deserve to be dragged into this mess, which is true, though very unfortunate. So yeah, that's all of it. That's all of it for now. Maybe I'll do a follow-up if like this is somewhat good, or if somebody like wants to know something. I don't know. I just wanted to make this video just because it really interested me. And yeah, that's the end. Alright, goodbye now.